Hi, this is Mrs. Klett, and we're going to go over our study material for events 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 so that you can study for the test on Thursday. First of all, you need to know all 10 events so that you can answer the matching for all 10 events, and 1 through 5 of course will be on there, as well as 6 through 10 just for the matching only, and then the rest of the test will be on 6 through 10. So well, I'm not going to give you numbers, but the multiple choice questions, you need to know what Palestine, the term refers to what area and what time period that Palestine referred to that area. You need to know who the Hasmoneans were, and we talked about that after the Maccabees. So who were the Hasmoneans? Need to know why the Romans wanted the Promised Land. There were several reasons. They, number one, liked to conquer land, but they also wanted to keep the Israelites down because they didn't want them, running over them. But were they greedy too? So check all that out. What kind of people were the Romans when they ruled the land? Were they cruel? Were they kind? Were they aggressive? What kind of people were they? Why did Herod become a governor in Galilee? Was he elected? Did the people ask him to because they loved him so much? He was called Herod the Great, so is that why he was great? Did they love him that much? Or did he inherit the governorship? Was it passed on through his family? You need to know. Why did Herod want to rebuild the temple? There were a couple of reasons, so you need to know why. Why was Herod called the Great? Was he really a great guy? Was he a kind guy? Was he a just man? Did he care for the Jews a lot? Or did he do great things in the eyes of the world, like building architecture, conquering land? Was he a stern ruler? When Herod was building the temple, who was allowed in the Holy of Holies? And the temple that Herod built, was that the same one that Jesus taught in and worshiped in, or was that a different one? Can you tell me what the Wailing Wall is? And does it stand today? And just tell me all about the Wailing Wall. Now let's switch gears and go to Alexander the Great. Again, like Herod, was he a great man? Was he wonderful? Was he a great Christian man? What did he drink a lot? I mean, what made him great? What was the big thing that he was best known for? Did he bring a particular language to Israel that may have wiped out the Hebrew language? What was the deal with Alexander? Who was Alexander's father? What was Alexander famous for? Actually, there were several things. He was kind of an arrogant guy, so, he wanted to be famous for lots of things, and he was. Hint, he built some things. One was a causeway to connect Phoenicia to the mainland so that he could attack it. So again, Alexander did something to put people from another area in places of importance to bring this language to whatever areas he conquered. What was that language that he wanted brought throughout his lands? Now let's switch gears again and talk about Septuagint. What does Septuagint mean? And how many Jewish scholars were commissioned to the Septuagint? If you know what Septuagint means, you'll know how many scholars were commissioned. What is the Apocrypha, and what does it refer to? And is it included in all Bibles? You'll need to know when the Jewish writings were written that includes the Apocrypha. Why was it necessary for the Septuagint to be written? The Septuagint shows us what dramatic piece of evidence to Christianity? Something that predates Jesus Christ, that proved that Jesus was coming. What does Hellenization refer to? What was priest Mattathias' son named? Now we've switched over to the Maccabees. Why did the revolt of the Maccabees even occur? Has something to do with Antiochus Epiphanes. What is Hanukkah a Jewish celebration of? And it's not because of the revolt being successful. What is the miracle that Hanukkah is a celebration of? And Hanukkah is celebrated by, there's three things that they do, the Jews do, through Hanukkah. The Maccabean revolt and the resulting celebration of Hanukkah is important to us as Christians because there are several things. One of them, who was Jesus? What religion was he? And do we share that history with the Jewish people? And is God faithful? Let's go to true-false. Was the Septuagint the basis of the New Testament? Again, Alexander the Great, what language did he introduce into the lands that he conquered? What does the name Maccabee mean? What does Septuagint mean? During the Maccabean revolt, what did the people that were cleaning the temple, did they need that oil to light their kitchen fires? Is Hanukkah a Muslim celebration? Did Alexander think he was a god? Was he ruthless and cunning? Now, we talked about the Dead Sea Scrolls being found, and that they were just found like in 1947, which wasn't really all that long ago. Did they confirm that the Septuagint was accurate? Did the Septuagint give the evidence that Jesus was coming? Why did Herod want to rebuild the temple? Was Herod a loving man to his family and all those around him? Who conquered the Promised Land? Was it the Palestinians, the Romans? Who conquered it? Herod the Great that rebuilt the temple, was that the same Herod that killed all the little boys, the massacre of the innocents? Was that the same Herod? Now we're down to the essays, and just need to know why all of these different ones are important to us as Christians today. Why is Alexander the Great and his conquering of many lands, including Palestine, important to us as Christians today? Why is the Septuagint important to us as Christians today? Why is the Maccabean revolt and the regaining of the temple, including the miracle of the oil in the lamp, important to us as Christians today? Don't just rewrite the thing for me. Tell me why it's important to us today. Why is it important to us today as Christians that the Romans conquered the Promised Land in 63 BC? And why is it important to us today as Christians that Herod restored the temple, making it larger and grander? It doesn't all have to be real positive reasons. They can be negative reasons, or they can be something that leads up to something else. But it needs to be something that relates to now, to us as Christians today. Okay? So, how's that for a review? Just makes more questions, doesn't it? But at least you've got an idea of what you need to study for the test. And good night.